UCLA is a university with unlimited possibilities for students that desire world-class academics and research, unmatched diversity, incredible cultural and social opportunities, successful alumni and career networking, first-class campus facilities, plus America's top intercollegiate sports teams. Located in Westwood, just a few miles from the Pacific Ocean, UCLA's 1 square mile campus is surrounded by famous cities such as Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Brentwood, and Santa Monica.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Westwood for another edition of UCLA Bruin Talk. I'm Dave Marcus. Today is going to be Coach's Corner. We're going to talk to two of the fine programs at UCLA. We'll meet our first guests right after this look at the upcoming fall events. Our first guests don't get too much time off because they have sports to compete in the fall and in the spring. We're thrilled to have them with us today. I'd like to welcome Forrest Braden and Johnny Gray, assistant coaches for track and field and cross country. Welcome to Bruin Talk.
Thanks for having us.
Coach Gray, we talked about the fact that you don't get a lot of break. The summertime's got to be nice to recharge a little bit.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, this is something that we do and we love, so not having a break is not really that bad because we do enjoy what we do. So during the summer, we take a break, but the break is pretty much camps, so we really don't get a break.
Well, you're still on campus, still involved in young runners.
Exactly, but we enjoy it, so it's not bad at all.
Yeah. Forrest, you, with cross country coming up soon, you've got some athletes that have to come back pretty quickly, don't they?
Oh yeah, we have the majority of our athletes come back August 28th and they start training. Everyone does cross country. We got 800 up to 10K guys doing cross country and girls doing cross country. So we have a big crew coming back, and you know, me and Coach Gray, you know, take care of those guys together, and you know, they're right now getting ready for the cross country season. So they're training on their own. We've sent them schedules and talk to them weekly.
The track season just ended. I mean, literally just ended a couple weeks ago, and you know, you're during the summertime, you don't want all the conditioning that's been built up to go to waste, but these guys have to recharge a little bit. What kind of workouts are they doing over the summer?
I know. For me, it's a lot of just easy stuff. It's getting back into it. Kind of depend on where they're at. The athletes who are at USA's last week, you know, they're on a very down schedule right now. They're just getting some easy runs in, some massage pace runs, building themselves back up, having fun with running, relaxing, taking a little bit of time just to enjoy themselves and not feel like they got to train hard every single day. You know, that time will come for that.
Coach Gray, you're a middle distance coach in the track season. I mean, those are the hardest races. You know, not the pacing of the long distance races, not the explosion of the sprints. What do those runners do during the summer to kind of keep the edge?
We have some runners that their season ends a lot earlier than others. And then we have some that take their season deep into the season, like the Nationals and then USA Outdoors. The ones that have the later season, they're on the rest now. They're on a 3-week break. But the ones that ended their season pretty much at the SC meet, they've been in training, and what they're basically doing is they're getting prepared for training. I tell my athletes, all I want you to do is do some easy mileage, 3 to 4, maybe 5, depending on how old. The older athletes are more experienced and have more background, so I'll give them a little more mileage. And all we're basically trying to accomplish is having a little shape so that when you get to practice, August 28th, you're in shape to do the training.
You both had great success as student athletes, 3-time All-American for us, 4-time Olympian, Johnny Gray. You talk about enjoying running. Did you enjoy running?
I enjoyed running. I just didn't enjoy the training too much. But you know, proper preparation prevents poor performances. So without the training, we can't perform at the level we performed. And I've enjoyed track and field. I played pretty much all sports. I did basketball, football, baseball. I did everything but soccer and hockey. And track and field is one of my favorites.
As a cross-country runner, a lot of what you do is invisible. Even during the races themselves, you're out there, you're jumping over logs, you're running down the trails.
Yeah.
But to train, to be excelling at that level, you really have to have it inside.
Oh, it's that inner drive for sure. You can't, you know, your coach isn't going to be there every step of the way shouting in your ear. You know, it has to come from within, and you have to love it. If you don't love it, you're not going to be successful at it, because you put so much time in. It's easy just to say, you know, I'm going to skip a day, lay out on the couch and watch TV. You know, it's a pretty easy thing to do. The tough thing is lacing on your shoes, going out for your hour 30, 2-hour minute runs sometimes. You know, it's 12, 14, 16, 18 miles. I mean, it's grueling. It's a tough sport, but it's a very rewarding sport as well. And
tell us about your transition from student athlete to coach. How did you know you wanted to get involved in coaching?
I've always known, just since I really got into college. I've loved the sport, and that's the thing, back to loving the sport. Wanting to be a part of the sport after, you know, as long as I can, forever, for my life. And so coaching is kind of that next step. And I still enjoy running, I still enjoy competing, but it's something so rewarding about watching other people, you know, people who you've helped guide, you know, get there and have success. It's really comparable, if not greater, a greater feeling than actually doing it yourself.
Johnny, we talked about your long career as an athlete. I mean, to go to 4 Olympics, you got to be around for a while. At some point, you were the young kid, and at some point, you were the elder statesman. When did you know you wanted to channel that into helping others follow that path?
Well, during my career, I was sort of coaching. You know, mid-distance and distance is a little different from sprints. The mentality that we have as distance and mid-distance runners, we're like a family. When we get out there to compete, we're not really upset with one another and challenging one another to that aspect, because the lactic acid is going to challenge us. So we're like, it's like getting a spanking. You have to all get it together. So that, hey, misery loves company. This is going to hurt. Hey, you guys come on down like the price is right, and let's make this work, you know. But when I was running, I was America's best. And I had a lot of youngsters that would come on the scene and would ask questions, and I was sort of coaching while running, but not necessarily giving workouts, but just coaching how to run and how to approach this race, and giving them, you know, inspiration. Hey, just go out there, follow me. I'm gonna go out this fast, so follow me and do this and do that. And so I kind of enjoyed helping people. So to be able to give back and to be still part of the sport, you know, I couldn't have asked for anything better than this.
Let's kind of look into our crystal ball and project the next season, the 2011-2012 season. First, talk about cross country. What are your expectations for the cross country this year?
You know, we're coming into the season pretty excited. We've got a good group of older guys, some fifth-year seniors, some guys who have been to the national meet in track. Our top steepler, Dylan Knight's coming back. He was our top runner for most of the season last year. And then we also have that infusion of freshmen now that are going to be sophomores, and then some good to-be freshmen coming in. Really going to be a deep team, and should be a lot of fun. I mean, we're looking to have, you know, possibly the best season UCLA cross country's ever had as a team, as a cross country team. So very excited.
And of course, hot on the heels of cross country, you've got first the indoor season for track and field, then the outdoor.
Well,
how do things look for the Bruins next year?
Well, as a mid-distance coach, you know, we run cross country to prepare for that. We kind of take advantage of an advantage. To run cross country always give you the necessary background to have a successful season. But as you know, I lost 2 pretty good runners in Scott Crawford and Corey Prim. But I do have some good youngsters. I have Philip McQuitty, who's a promising upcoming star. He's a freshman, will be a sophomore. And I have Sean Grumney, Chris Penn, Philip Kosnick. We have quite a few, and Tommy Williams coming in. So we have some promising young stars, but we have to be patient. We can't put this pressure on these youngsters to come out and do what Corey Prim did as he left. Corey took a few years before he started doing it. We have to give these kids the opportunity and the chance to do it as well. But they are promising. They will make an impact, but it'll take a year or two.
Let's talk about the evolution of a runner throughout a college career. Again, middle distance strategic races. You have to have the basic athletic ability, but the strategy takes a while to learn, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, Corey had exceptional shape this year. Unfortunately, he had an injury, but he still was able to go out and run 1:44.71 and lead America for quite some time. And that was something that was he never dreamed he can accomplish. So, he's really a sophomore. As he graduates as a senior, he was really a sophomore under the training. So in the next couple of years, Corey's going to do some big things once he learns how to put the race together and learn it. But what's great about that is Corey will still be around, and he can teach some of the younger kids that we have coming in, and then they can learn a little faster because they have someone like Corey to give them the extra confidence that's needed to do this sport.
For us, let's talk about the strategy of cross country. To the uninitiated, it just looks like you're out there, again, jumping over the logs and getting there as fast as you can. But it's a long race. Tell us about the strategy of learning how to manage a course, not just manage your own self.
Yeah, well, a lot of it is, is pacing and making sure, you don't go out crazy, the first 200 meters in a 10K race. But we train for that. We have our paces, whether it's, a 6-mile tempo run that we do, maybe faster, right at race pace or a little slower than race pace, or maybe 1,000-meter repeats that are faster than race pace. We prepare our bodies to run, a very consistent, hard pace for 8K or 8K and 10K are the collegiate men's distances, 6K is the women's distance. So that's what we're training for, and we're training our body to feel that pace. A lot of the strategy is it's competing, it's getting out, it's staying with the pack if you need to, not falling off the pack, staying with the pack, running as a team. You gain a lot of inspiration from having your teammate to your left, your teammate to the right. Your teammate's got your back. When you guys can run together, you girls can run together. It makes it that much easier and that much more inspiring to you. And the older you get, the stronger you get, and you get years and years of base built up.
Exactly. So
you can't expect a freshman, unless they're just the absolute best in America, to come in right away and compete with those older guys. The freshmen come in and they have to develop, and you have to give them time and patience to watch them grow. And so a lot of it is that experience and just knowing what your body can do, and then having the background that years after year after year after year of base. By the time you're a fourth year or fifth year senior, you're strong, and you should be confident, and hopefully you've taken those steps to get the success.
Coach Gray, I see you nodding your head when you talk about the fourth and the fifth year and the runners getting stronger. Middle distance, 800 meters. Blazing speed or experience or strength? What's the key to being successful?
Well, it's a combination of all. You have to have the strength, you have to have the speed, and you have to have the stamina. So it's a little bit of all. But patience is the key to the main ingredient to all success. And a lot of these freshmen, they come in and they run fast times early, and then they're expecting the PR, that's personal record, every time they're racing. And it's not going to happen. One thing you have to learn to be successful is consistency. If you have that consistency, then that's signs of a successful athlete in the future. It's when you're inconsistent, when you don't really know where you are. But I had some freshmen this year that was just not that patient, but they're competitive. So I like that competitive edge about them. But they were very consistent with competing, and they're just antsy and impatient when it comes to wanting to wait for their time. Their time will come, and next year you're going to see some big things out of my freshmen.
And great things on the horizon.
Hey, look for nothing but better.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on UCLA Bruin Talk.
Thanks for having us.
And we'll come back with more Bruin Talk as our Coach's Corner continues right after this public service announcement.
A trophy can be made just about anywhere. But there's one place where champions are made. UCLA, champions meet here.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to UCLA Bruin Talk. Before we meet our next guest, we'd like to honor our Student Athlete of the Week. And what a week she had. It's Lauren Cheney, who has had phenomenal contributions to the U.S. women's national team in the recent FIFA Women's World Cup. In the first game against North Korea, Lauren Cheney scored the game's first goal with a header to help the U.S. to a 2-0 win. The UCLA alum has made her name known around the world as a member of the U.S. women's team to win gold in Beijing in 2008. As a student athlete at UCLA, Cheney set numerous records in addition to being the first player in school history to earn NCSAA Adidas First Team All-America honors for all 4 years of her college career. The Indianapolis native was the #1 recruit in the nation coming out of high school and surpassed all expectations as a 2-time finalist for the MAC Hermann Trophy and a top 4 finalist for the Honda Award. Congratulations, Lauren, and congratulations on a great performance in the Women's World Cup. If you'd like additional information about UCLA athletics, please go to the website at uclabruins.com. And when you go to the website, you're going to notice UCLA's won a lot of national championships. The count is up to 107, courtesy of Coach Carrie Forsyth and the women's golf team. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What a tremendous performance the Bruins put on, winning the championship in College Station, Texas. What a moment.
Yeah, it was an incredible week for us, and it was grueling, it was intense, nerve-wracking, and at the end of the day, we brought home the trophy, and we're just so proud of our team and what we've been able to accomplish this season.
You not only had to compete with the best collegiate golfers in the nation, but some incredible swings of weather and some big weather delays. How important was it for you to keep the players engaged during those times you were sitting out waiting for play to resume?
It was a challenge. I mean, the conditions were very tough. We had a lot of wind the first 3 rounds, and the girls performed phenomenally. Then we had a rain delay in the middle of round 3, and at that time, we were on a tremendous roll. We were, 5 under par through like 7 holes. And then we had to stop play for 2.5 hours, and it just really killed our momentum. But we came back out, and it took us a little while to regain it, but we were able to finish it. And just trying to keep the girls focused and in the moment, not thinking too far ahead. That's kind of a challenge in our sport, and they really stepped up, and they were, again, phenomenal.
Your team played with a lead, ended up winning by 4 strokes. At what point did you know you had it in the bag?
I wasn't 100% sure until my last player, who was playing #1, which was Tiffany Lua, stepped onto the 18th tee, and one of the rules officials came up to me at that time and said, at the moment I thought we had a 2-shot lead, and she said, no, you have a 4-shot lead, and I just knew. I mean, that was it. I mean, there wasn't going to be a 4-shot swing in the final hole. It was a relatively easy par 5, and it was just a tremendous sense of relief.
There's a great scene that's being played on the UCLA website now of the final putt going in, the team coming down the green to congratulate Tiffany, and just the sense of, you can see just the sense of joy on the faces of the players.
Oh yeah, they were, it's such a long season. We start our season in September, and we go all the way through. We play until May, and we had some ups and downs in our year. We had basically either finished first or third in every event we played, and we really went into this championship without any expectations, just wanting to play well, and they really, really wanted it. And so then to finally achieve it is just a huge thing, and it means a lot to them in this moment, but over the years they'll come to discover that it means even more as time goes by, the value of that to you personally. So yeah, it was an exciting time.
As an athlete, one controls one's own environment and can respond to certain situations. As a coach of a team sport where there's only one ball, basketball, football, you're out there directing things. As a coach of golf where you've got 5 players playing all at the same time, how do you get around? What do you do during the tournament?
I mean, we work really hard to try to find where we're needed the most. In this case, in the championship and the final, I had a freshman who was playing, our number 5 player, who was, she was first out in the last 2 rounds, and she was, she had some problems in the first 2 rounds, and so she really needed me to go with her. And I walked with her for the first 6 holes of the 3rd round and the first 6 holes of the 4th round, just to get her off to a better start and to keep her calm. And so that's what we try to do. We try to go where we're needed. If we see somebody in trouble, they might need to make a tough decision, we're there to try to help them make a good decision. We can help them read their putts, and really just be there as a support and a calming influence when the tensions are high, or they just need some extra confirmation about what club to hit or what shot to hit, that type of thing. So we're pretty busy. We're running around all over the place.
Your team was really deep this year, and never more underscored by the fact that Brianna Doe goes out and wins the U.S. Public Links, and she wasn't even one of the final 5. It's got to be wonderful to have that kind of depth.
Oh, it's what makes a team good. At the end of the day, I've had a few seasons where we really just had 5 players who sort of separated themselves, and this year was not like that. We had 6 players who were always competing for that last spot, and next year we're going to have 7. So you know, I think the depth was the strength of our team this season, and I think it'll be the strength of our team next season. Having that inter-squad competition going on when we practice and when we're playing not at a tournament is it's what makes the players improve. So it was great, and it was just a phenomenal win for Brianna Doe at the Women's Public Links this last week. And just, you know, she's a USGA champion, and there's so few people that can ever say that. And we're excited she's coming back next year for her senior year.
You know, UCLA golf got a lot of publicity with Patrick Cantlay doing as well as he did on the men's PGA Tour events, and then of course the women going in the public links. You had Stephanie Kono, who got beat by Brianna Doe. You had Tiffany Lua, who advanced to the semifinals. A lot of UCLA references, plus Brianna was rocking the UCLA gear. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, how much does that pay off in terms of people who are thinking about where to spend their college career getting interested in UCLA?
It definitely helps. I mean, you know, I believe our reputation is just one of success, and that our athletes come in to this program and they get better. And now with Brianna's win, it brings our university or UCLA athlete total of USGA championships to 8. Which I don't know any other university that can boast that. We have players here have won 8 USGA championships. That's huge. So that on top of the winning the national championship and continually being ranked, you know, very high, it helps us. I mean, it puts us in a nice position where we can really have a legitimate shot at every top recruit in the country who's interested in, you know, coming to California. So it's a nice place to be. I've been on the other end of that, and it's not easy either way, but it's better to be in a winning position.
Well, this is not your first national championship with UCLA. You've won before. How can you compare the two? Is there any way?
Yeah, I mean, the first one was in 2004. We won, and that was truly overwhelming because that was our, you know, I was a young coach. I'd been here for 5 years, and you know, I wanted to establish a name for myself, and this is a tough place. I mean, if you don't win a championship here, you know, they look at you like you're, you know, it's just UCLA. I mean, you know, 107 championships. There's an expectation that you're going to either win or be close to winning. So that one was, you know, a tremendous professional accomplishment. This one was so sweet just because it was almost like confirmation that what we're doing are the right things. It wasn't just a fluke that we won in 2004. I know it sounds silly, but you know, as a coach, you kind of think that, did we just get lucky, or you know, are we really doing the right things as a program? And this one really confirmed that, you know, what we're doing is correct and good for our players and making our team stronger. And so it was a really relieving feeling to get another one under the belt. So,
Carrie, how's your coaching style changed over those years since you've been here?
It has changed. In the beginning, I would say I'm probably a little bit more strict and a little bit more feeling like I needed to, I don't know, sort of be that authoritative figure. And it was very much it's not who I am. And so I was trying to coach a little bit as to what I thought a UCLA coach should be versus who I was as a person or as a coach. And I've really, over the years, I've sort of realized I can let some of that stuff go and just be who I am. You know, there are certain things that are very important to me, and I will hold that line no matter what.
Seeing it from the outside, this looked like a really even keel sort of team. This team didn't seem to have a lot of the kind of intense highs or intense lows that can sometimes derail performance. Mm-hmm. They seemed pretty laid back about whatever came their way, and they just met the challenge.
Yeah, we worked very hard on that. I mean, that was one of the big things for us this season, was to try to really help our players, you know, just be even, just accept, you know, do your best to hit good shots and then be accepting of whatever result you have. And that's a process. It's not something that comes easily. And I have some players who really struggle with that, but you wouldn't see it on the outside. And that's what I'm really proud of, is that we as a team were able to really get them to a place emotionally and mentally where they were handling the fact that it was a tough condition, the fact that you're not going to hit great shots all the time, the fact that you might miss a short putt. And it's really about how you handle the bad things that happen to you on the golf course that really determine what you're going to be able to accomplish. They did a great job.
We've talked before about the tremendous advantage that UCLA golfers have. I mean, they're playing at the best courses in Southern California, pretty much perfect weather. And you wonder about going into an environment, going to the Northwest where you're getting rain and wind, and playing at College Station, Texas, where you had a combination of everything. How proud are you that they were able to adapt to situations that they're not really that used to?
Oh, I mean, that's the hardest part for us, really. I mean, we get very spoiled here in LA, and we were lucky in that at the time it didn't feel lucky. We were shipped to the Central Regional, which is at Notre Dame, because it was windy and cold, and then we won there. So it gave us an opportunity to really experience that swirly wind. And then a week later, there we were down in Texas in the same wind. It just happened to be hot. So, the good thing is we get out of our region to play, and we get some experience in other weather conditions throughout the year. But it's definitely not our norm. And we've had some seasons where we don't do well when we get into tough conditions, but this was not that year, and they did a great job.
Well, the Bruins weren't the only ones who gathered some accolades this year. You were Pac-10 Coach of the Year, Golf Week's National Coach of the Year. How does the individual recognition feel? It's
nice. It's nice. The team they're the ones who made me look good. I mean, at the end of the day, and it's their accomplishments that I take pride in, and seeing them be successful. But it is nice to be recognized by your peers, and in my mind, I just know that it might be a little bit about me, but it's really about the girls on the team. And if anything, I've done a good job of recruiting high quality representatives for our program, and I can take some pride in that.
Well, the UCLA athletic motto is "Champions Made Here," and Carrie, congratulations on bringing home number 107.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on UCLA Bruin Talk. That's it for this week. We'll be back next week with another great show. Until then, so long from Westwood.